everybody, Dr. Pingle here. I'm making a quick video here to talk about how to snag data from the cubes that we have in the CID building. So the first thing that you do, we're going to talk about two ways to do this. One is through the web GUI dashboard. So if you go to any of them, you can type in the IP address here. So 192.168.10.101 is in that room. And what we're going to do is try to pull down just a couple of frames here. So the recordings tab, you can view these things if you go to the viewer tab. That will initialize a point cloud viewer, and you can see what's going on in space that way. But we're going to be using the dashboard and just starting a recording here. So once you hit this start button, it's going to be contacting the server. It's going to ask to record these things, and you can just hit save. And it's basically going to be streaming this stuff down and saving it while you wait here. If you hit stop, that'll stop the recording. the download, so to speak, will finish off, and you'll have this .bfpc file. So this is a Blickfeld point cloud, and it's not just a point cloud in space, but in time. And so what we want to do is try to break this down by, well, we would ordinarily break this down by frame. We need to convert this from BFPC to some other format. To do that, we would use the Blickfeld recorder. So if you go to Blickfeld recorder, that's here, and you can download that right here. That's already installed in this machine, so I'm not going to need to do that. So we're just going to click on this here. Okay, so one of the things that the Blickfeld recorder can do is convert files. In fact, that's what's kind of up here at the beginning. So if we opened up our desktop file that we just made, we can output this to whatever folder we want. We could make a new folder here. And then the output format, you only have two choices here. This would work for LiDAR view if you wanted to look at it there. Most of the time, though, we're just going to need CSV, and so we can just hit Start Conversion. You'll get a fair number of frames, so I'm not sure how long we left this run, a couple of seconds. There's probably 20 frames worth of data in here. So it'll start off and it'll do the conversions. If you peek over here into frames, you can see that it's populating this already with these CSV frames that it's pulling out of that file. You could think of that BFPC as sort of like a zip file for the LiDAR data. That's done, and so there we have all of our data, and we can do take Cloud Compare, and we can just load our data straight into it. You'll notice that you get a lot of fields, so X, Y, Z, of course, but also distance, intensity, point ID, and so on. So do know that you've got a couple of scalar fields to work with here. And then this is just an ordinary point cloud. So there you can see kind of this central pillar and some other things going on over here on the edge, some seating. Of course, like everything else, we can add some shading, and we can change the point cloud size. Point size, I should say. There we go. So filling in the details like so. The second way to record is actually to use the Blickfeld recorder itself. So if you click on the Record tab, you can specify which sensor you want to pull from. So if you wanted to pull from that sensor again, we could do that. This would open up the web GUI that we just used. We'll just save this on the desktop here, and you'll see that you've got sort of a standard sort of prefix that encodes things like the IP address. The nice thing about doing it this way is if you hit Start Recording, you can see the number of frames that you're getting, which is kind of nice. So you can see that we pulled in 5 frames in no time at all. That's done, and then you can just come over here and you can select that frame that we just grabbed. So that would be this one. And then similarly, you can convert these things and put them out wherever you want. So just like before, it'll basically unzip that and it'll put those in that folder. And because we only captured 5 frames, the conversion finished a little bit faster. So those are the 2 ways of grabbing live Blickfeld data from the unit. There's a Python API that'll let you do this programmatically, but those are the 2 ways to kind of do it manually. Thanks.